baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is morning coffee with Elio. This is gonna be a great day. We have a fantastic guest. Get up, baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is morning coffee with Elio. Yes, today I'm super excited. This is special Friday morning. And I'll tell you why. We have one of our dear sponsors, part of our sponsor family. They are Ray and Nanette Holt. Yeah, the owner of Siva Range, a beautiful venue. And we are honored and have the privilege to have the great Chuck Clemons. But let me before I bring them on camera, I am gonna explain you something. Chuck Clemons was elected state representative from the District 21 in 2016, representing Alachua, Dixie, and Garish counties. Hopefully that's the right pronunciation. You gotta keep up with my Cuban accent. So as state representative, Chuck has fought to create jobs, invest in education, defend our freedoms, and preserve our environment. And he currently serves as vice chair of the Agriculture and Property Rights Subcommittee and is a member of the Agriculture and Natural Resources Appropriations Subcommittee, Commerce Committee, Insurance and Banking Subcommittee, and Post-Secondary Education Subcommittee. Chuck served as an Alachua County Commissioner from 1996 to 2000. As a county commissioner, he fought to keep taxes low by rolling back the mileage rate. He was also instrumental in recruiting the Dollar General Contribution Center in Alachua. He was also the co-founder and board member of Bikers on Parade for the United States, which raised over $500,000 for the American Red Cross and another veterans causes. This is amazing. Chuck is passionate about keeping the improvement and development of our education, agriculture, and our environment, as well as helping to keep creating jobs and keep inspiring the American entrepreneurial spirit. I am super excited. Let's welcome on camera to Morning Coffee with Elio, Nanette, and Ray Hall and the great Chuck Clemons. How you
Hey,
doing this
good
morning?
morning. I'm
Good
doing great.
morning.
It's great to be here with Elio and Nanette and Ray. Good morning.
That is fantastic. I am
Good
super
morning.
excited, and I gotta tell you that we are privileged, and we feel humble and honored, and grateful with you for making the time to be this morning with us. Helping us and motivating us with your amazing energy and spirit, and I am sure you are going to be answering some questions that we have for you, and we're gonna be sharing some stuff. By the way, I really love that shirt with the Santa Fe College. So how you guys are doing right now? We are in times that there is many concerns, many questions regarding different topics, such as the economy, education. Right now, everybody is functioning from home, working from home, homeschooling. There is many questions, especially with the students that they are in the year of the senior year. So, how do you see where are we going with our education in the next 6 months? If I can ask you regarding all this situation.
Well, Elio, good morning to everyone. And, and I wake up every morning with hope that the day that we're in will be better than the day that we left behind yesterday. What a difference just a few weeks makes, a couple months ago. Look, the United States of America, the economy was humming. We had the lowest unemployment since the records were being kept. African American unemployment was the lowest ever. We were hitting on all cylinders, and that is fantastic. And along comes COVID-19, a pandemic, and all of a sudden, not in the lifetime of Elio or Ray or Nanette, has such a threat not only to the United States but to the world. and it has turned our world completely upside down. And for small businesses like Ray and Nanette, who rely on the congregation of people, they deal with weddings and special events, and there are a lot of small businesses that are scratching their head and they say, when are we going to be safe enough to open up this economy? And we are working, Governor Ron DeSantis, the President Trump, and leaders throughout the country are working a way. And I think that you'll see some announcements in the next few days that will give a timeline and a game plan for how we can do that and we can get people back to work. Elio, you may not know, but Florida is one of the 50 states. It's the third most populous state, but most people don't realize that Florida has the 17th largest economy in the entire world. So if we were a country, we would be number 17 in the form of economic prowess. But guess what? We have no sales tax here, and no estate tax here. We have no personal income tax here. So, and that's in our Constitution. So this state, our state, Florida, we have a powerful economy that we are based solely on tourists coming to Florida and spending their money and then going back home. With a $93 billion budget, we've got an excellent credit rating. We put $3 billion in reserves in the last year. So we've got a healthy reserve of about $4.5 billion. But I can tell you, if we don't get this economy cranking up, it's going to be some sad times in the near term. So we're really looking forward to implementing that plan of opening up our economy again.
I am very happy that you mentioned that, because one of the questions that we have for you today is how do you think, of how would you support, or what would be your opinion exactly on this topic that I am about to tell you. Nanena Ray, for example, and I and myself, we've been talking about creating a new event that we are planning to help and support not only businesses in the wedding industry, but all businesses that they need exposure. I think right now, not only social media, but keeping your brand out there, and letting your customers know that you are still not only alive as a business, but with the same energy, and that you are ready to serve, and you are looking forward, as you just mentioned, to go back. So they are actually what's their idea, and I am very happy when they call me to talk to me about this event, to have like vendors exposing. Obviously, they are planning to do it outside to keep everybody safe, and to have like a nice environment that is enjoyable but is still safe for the community. What would be your opinion on creating these events, and how do you think the government or the Alachua County could support events like this, so not only specific industries can get the support of the government, but also businesses like us, like businesses that they are venues, that they are caterings, that businesses that they still need to let people know, hey, we are here and we are
Right.
ready to go back. What would be your opinion on this?
Well, I have an opinion and some observations, and one is, we are relying on medical experts right now today, helping us to guide us 100% of the way of how we reopen our businesses and the phases that we may use to reopen our business. But I think you mentioned it first, and that is the communication with our customers, communication with our community, to let the community know that you care about them. Let the community know that you're eagerly looking forward to opening the doors for business and commerce again. And in Ray and Nanette's particular business, to keep constant contact with those folks that had their weddings scheduled, and the ones that are looking to postpone, that postponed it and looking forward to that day when they can walk their loved one down the aisle. So I think communication is important. Medical expert advice is going to lead us the way so that they tell us when we're safe. And as you know, the level of transmission, and I think that maybe we've got a level curve here. We've got more hospital beds that are available today than we did 2 weeks ago, which is a great sign for the leveling out of the COVID-19. So protection being first, but never lose sight that communication is the key. That, Hope, we're going to open this business. We're going to be there for you. We're going to welcome you with open arms, and we would like to see you happy. And if it's a wedding, make sure that is as most pleasant experience that you could ever hope for.
That is awesome. Thank you for that. And yeah, we know that Siva Range is gonna make that day unforgettable. And actually, Ray, before we start the show, remember when you mentioned that you guys being close, like you like each other? Can you keep doing that so we can see you guys on camera? Yes, I love it. I love it. Look at you guys, so beautiful on camera. My goodness. Uh,
Yeah, let me just add too that I've been out to the Seabar Ranch, and the ranch was beautiful. But when Ray and Nanette turned it into a wedding venue, it's got the pond out there. It's got the sunsets. It is groomed meticulously. Inside is a very pleasant venue, and I'm looking forward to going to my next event out at the Seabar Ranch. I just wish it was in District 21.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that.
that is
um,
awesome.
just a little comment, and I really appreciate the opportunity to discuss these things with you. Um, part of the nature of our community, the businesses can reopen and tell people we're going to open soon, and then they just open their doors.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the problem that Elio faces and that we face and other people in our industry, event planning starts way in advance.
Mm-hmm.
So our customers who've been planning events don't know if their event is going to happen or not. We've had to reschedule a lot of them. That's been stressful for them and obviously stressful for us. But the biggest problem is people need to know my bride and groom on June 6th, is their wedding happening? They need to tell their guests there's planning that needs to take place. We assume that our May weddings are not happening, but we need to know about our June wedding. It's getting
Yes.
close. A lot of things have to start rolling again. So that's the frustration here, is that no one can tell us when we'll be open. We can communicate and telegraph that we're excited to be open, but the practicality is that's really not enough in our industry. We need to say when we're going to be open and when we
Nanette,
can serve them.
I certainly understand that level of frustration because of the uncertainty. The uncertainty has occurred because we've never faced a pandemic like this. It's been
Of
100 years, I
course.
think 101 years, 1919, when the last
Right.
pandemic that negatively impacted us. I was told this week that the financial impact of COVID-19 on the United States, it will be equal to or greater than World War II and the negative financial impact it had on the United States economy, and that's no small thing. So even the comprehension of what this is doing to us, and I certainly have empathy for businesses like yours. But I think that listening intently every day to Governor Ron DeSantis, he is determined to have a rollout. And I think that this information is coming to us on a day by day basis using the best medical experts that we can. In businesses like yours, certainly 500 people have been probably at the ranch before. We may have some sort of phase in or limited number of people that attend. Certainly, you get more than 250, and the opportunity to spread any sort of virus is greatly enhanced. Naturally, in weddings, you have a lot of older adults and persons with sometimes pre-existing health conditions. Those are thought to have an increased risk if the more
Of
people are
course.
gathering there. So the density of the attendees within a confined area certainly would probably have some restrictions on that. Then the level of transmission, if you can't treat Gilchrist County like you can Miami-Dade County because of the density of the transmissions are much greater in those urban areas. So I think out in the La Crosse area, Alachua County, we're not hit as hard as we are some of the urban areas, but certainly we're hit harder than some of the rural counties themselves. So there are a lot of moving parts that would come into an event venue like yours. But you guys would look for ways to significantly reduce, the risk involved. and provide a minimal or moderate level of risk exposure there. And what we're afraid of, and what the leaders are afraid of, is a resurgence. We want to protect against the second wave, and you've heard about that and read about that. And so we want to protect against that, and so that's why it's not a science. Well, it is a science, but it's a combination between protecting the folks and re-jump starting the economy so that we don't kill ourselves because the economy is dead and it will never be revived.
At the same time, I would like to add that I am hopeful, talking about hope and about being grateful as well. With the great, I mean the great job that the administration is doing. I don't know if you guys know this, but I mean, a new program, the same program, the CARES Act program, just approved like a new another amount. I think it's over. I think $200 billion for to keep helping once again
Yes,
those businesses. I remember I was talking to Nanette and Ray the other day, and I know that you guys apply and you
yes,
couldn't actually get your money, but guess what? Now your money's on the way
yes.
because
Let me speak to that too. You're talking about the Paycheck Protection Program, the
yes.
PPP program through the federal government. And let me just people complained about the money running out. The entity that was applying, the Small Business Administration, they produced 14 years worth of loans in 18 hours. 14 years worth of volumes of loan in only 18 hours. That's phenomenal. So I think only 6% of the people got attended to, but the Democrats, the Republicans were unified. They came back together and they've refunded, again funded this particular very important program. And I hope that Ray, Nanette, and a lot of our other small businesses that had their application in will be in on this next round of funding. Very important.
Yeah, I
really
was
is.
reading yesterday from the website of the of Great Against Your Chamber of Commerce that I have the honor to be one of the diplomats there. So I receive emails constantly. So over 1,665,000 businesses. All right, they got approved and they got the money, and the rest of them within 10 days of this approval. Because I think today within 4 days the Congress need to sign the final approval for this second, I will say, for the continue of this help, to continue
Yes.
with this help. And Chuck can actually, you can say if I am wrong or right. I'm just
Well, I think we should keep everything into perspective. And
yes.
what I mean by that is that think about this during the hurricanes when there's an evacuation order given, and the roads are clogged. The interstates are basically parking lots because everyone is trying to utilize that infrastructure at that particular moment to exit the place that they live. Well, people say, well, gosh, it's overcrowded. We need bigger roads. Well, but you can't afford bigger roads because the demand for those roads aren't there from day to day. So the demand for these loans, and when you do 14 years worth of loans in 18 hours, that is a tremendous accomplishment. And the problem is they just ran out of money. It wasn't because of the capacity of the loans
Right.
being put out. It's the fact that the money ran out. So heads up to them. Kudos to them for doing that. And we need to provide help to the people now when the people need that help.
Yes, and that's why I wanted to mention that because it is really amazing, and I think the what they are doing, helping small businesses of all types and helping individuals with the personal stimulus of the $1,200. Some
Yes,
people they are complaining about that, but again, I really hope that they are watching the show right now and hey, 14 years of loans, and then plus helping individuals and every single family. I
right.
haven't got anything yet, but my wife already got it. And she's a
Yes,
mental health counselor that they didn't even ask her, hey, do you need it? They just gave it to her because of the situation. So I
yes,
think
yes,
it is a beautiful job of humanity, or just being trying to be helpful. So another topic that I think. Go ahead.
Well, if I could just speak some positivity to the whole situation as far as getting our businesses back going, I watched a little bit of the county commission the other day, and the local health authority was giving the statistics on how we're doing locally, which I guess the task force meeting today is using that information to do the rollout of how we move into phase one. And Alachua County, at least, has been down in all of the critical numbers, hospitalizations, influenza type hospitalizations, and our hospital beds are not in a bad situation. So it seems as though everything is on a downturn for Alachua County, and I'm sure the surrounding counties as well. Um, for moving into a relaxation business. So that's positive. Ultimately, we all want to get back to work because our government can't support us forever.
That's true.
Yes.
We have to remind everyone that we're pledging security for our children and grandchildren. In other words, we're charging this on the government's credit card, which eventually would have to be paid off in taxes with future generations. So Ray is exactly
Right.
correct. We do need to help the people today, but there are limits to that, and that is the limit to pay that money back. I'm very excited. I think that the governor has a good plan. And as far as the May 6th, if I'm guessing, that would be my educated guess, that we will be performing weddings on the 6th of June, which is very good. I don't think that May will be part of a transitional period, and whether or not we have groups of 50 and 100, 150, 200 during that month of May, I think we'll see a transition. And Ray, you're exactly right. As long as the numbers in Alachua County continue to trend downwardly, we're going to rely on those medical experts. And what they will say is that we'll be good to go to that next business level.
I would like to make another positive transition into a topic that I care a lot about this, because number one, everybody, we all being students here, everybody being a student. I think actually human beings, we are like eternal students. We're students forever because life is about improving and learning all the time. So Chuck, you guys, the foundation of Santa Fe College, uh, you guys have been like remarkable and incredibly amazing, raising money and funds for the international student programs at the foundation of Santa Fe College, over $20 million. And right now we were just talking that you just finished like 10 millions for students. So what can you talk to me about? How is the educational system doing right now?
Well, I'm very pleased to be affiliated with Santa Fe College. That's my day job. That's where I get my joy, is helping other first generation students, just like myself. I mean, I'm a community college graduate. I was the first generation in my family to attend and graduate college, and that's what the United States is about: is opportunities and hope. My dad went to the sixth grade, was the highest schooling he ever got. He was born in 1910. So he had six brothers and sisters, and in 1922, when he was in the sixth grade, he left school and went to work in the fields to help feed his little brothers and sisters. But he always inspired his children. And Elio, myself, and my brothers, my sister, we all received a college education that we worked our way through college. And so it's so easy for me because I'm helping those non-traditional students. I'm helping those first generation students. And when we go out to the community, which is very generous, and we have a great partner in the University of Florida, but we have more than 650 scholarships, full ride scholarships for people in the community in Alachua, Bradford County. Santa Fe College also has people from all 67 counties, from 42 states, and get this one, friend, over 90 foreign countries have one of their citizens go to college at Santa Fe College. So we truly have a world imprint right here in Alachua County.
Wow, that is absolutely incredible, and it is awesome and fantastic. So, do how are we gonna be doing? Because right now, everybody, all students are at home. Okay, right now it's homeschooling and all of that. So, do you think that in the next 6 months? Well, no, because I mean, basically, we're almost school is almost done. But in the next semester, let's say in fall, the next fall, do you think it would be possible to go back to normal with Santa Fe College, with all the students being on campus and all of that? How are you guys getting ready for that?
Well, first of all, let me congratulate Santa Fe College because within 7 days of basically closing the campus for in-class classrooms, we turned all of our classrooms into broadcast, and the students could stay in their apartments, stay home, uh, uh, however they wanted to do it, and they didn't miss a single bit of education, which is phenomenal that the college could do that. Many of the professors had never taught online before, and you had to get them equipped, and then you had to get them trained, and then they would be able to provide instruction. Um, our semester ends in the next 2 weeks. We are planning to keep things online at least until fall term, which is in the middle of August. We are planning, with the governor's approval and the Department of Education, to resume in class instructions unless we are prohibited. But we are planning to go through summer A, B, and C on the internet, and then in fall, we're planning 1,000% to resuming our normal activities should the medical experts allow us to do that.
That is
May I
awesome.
ask a question about that?
Yes.
Sure.
We love Santa Fe. It has been a blessing in our family. We have a high school senior who has always been homeschooled. She is dual enrolled there. She's had a tremendous experience. Um, Her class, as you said, went immediately to online. The learning for her, which was wonderful. She has very high goals. She wants to go to medical school or vet school. She needs to stay on track. So she was very relieved. We have another student in our family who was in a welding program. Kind of hard to do that online.
Yeah.
He had been told by his instructor that they were coming back in June. Is the plan for any of those courses that did not do well online, can they come back, or is that now going to be at least fall, do you think?
Well, that's a great question, Nanette, and it's a question that's asked by our CTE students all the time, which is career and technical education students. And in the welding, it's impossible to do welding via the internet. I mean, it's one of those
Yes.
hands-on type of things where you have to look over your shoulder as you're laying a
Right.
bead, and there's a proficiency involved that can't be done in any other type of learning environment. All of the CTE programs were temporarily suspended, and some of the medical ones who require those hands-on type of learning. The police academy was temporarily suspended because of close physical proximity that the students have in the classroom. We are making plans, however, we are making plans to roll those CTE programs out, and they will be one of the first, Nanette, to come back into that particular type of group
Right.
environment, because we have nurses that need to be trained, we have police officers, EMT, and others that need to be trained because there's work available to them, and our community needs all of those, including the welders.
Fantastic. It sounds like you really are looking to the long term, and we're so thankful for that.
Could I ask another question, education related? Um, One of our students has kind of a specific problem in that she was supposed to take the SAT back in March. It was canceled.
And May and
And then
June.
she was going to do the one in May. It was canceled. Then she was going to do the one in June. It's been canceled. So she hasn't had an opportunity to take the test to get the score she needs for the Bright Futures Scholarship.
Mhm.
And that right now they're saying basically that if you don't have your test score in, then you're not going to be able to get qualified for the Bright Futures Scholarship, because the deadline is right in that July period of time. There's no test that can get her qualified. I don't know if there's any way that the state could move the deadline and allow these students to go take that test sometime in July or August, September, when things are back.
Our understanding is that there are tens of thousands of them who were counting on taking the SAT to qualify for something they've been working toward for 4 years. And now they not only lost their prom and their graduation, and now their scholarships that they counted
Well,
on.
I don't think they'll lose their scholarships. It'll just be a delay in those scholarship awards. Let me back up for a moment. Because Santa Fe College is doing all of their learning via the internet, that doesn't exclude those students from taking and passing successfully all of the examinations that they normally would have to have taken during the in-class type of instruction. Santa Fe, I can't think of off the top of my head how many tens of thousands of dollars that we're having to pay for monitoring or proctoring of those particular classroom exams. There are ways to do proctoring that are legal and are approved by the state for those particular types of classroom instructions. I believe that in this first wave of re-normalcy or opening up, I think that will be high on the Department of Education's list because of the number of students that are in that holding period and waiting just to take their examination. And you have to remember, in other areas the same way. We have students that are turning old enough to get their learner's permit. Well, the only way to take the learner's permit is down at the office of the Division of Driver's License. And since they're not opening for people to come in the door, all of those have been temporarily suspended and on hold. They're working ways now to try to get those tests done in a remote type of way. So these problems have never been posed before.
Right.
And so the experts are on them, but feel confident that your graduate and the other graduates will not lose any of that financial award that they would be entitled to because they earned it academically.
Well, and
It just may be delayed.
the problem with Bright Futures is that's something defined in our Florida statutes that they have to achieve a certain SAT score, which
Correct.
is administered nationally, and the college board that administers the SAT has canceled all SATs until the fall. So all those young people who have done all the other things, the community service, the grades, the rigorous classwork, all they needed was the SAT. The SATs have been canceled. So when students' families that we've been in contact with, and when we have contacted the Department of Education, they've said, well, if you didn't already have the SAT score, you're just not going to be able to get the Bright Futures scholarship because that's a statute. It's not something we can just say, oh, we'll extend the deadline. Our legislators in Tallahassee have to do something about it. So that's why we're bringing that to you, because
Yeah.
we know that that's something our wonderful forward-thinking legislators need to deal with for us, because we can't do it. We can't just appeal for that.
Sure. And I think that we probably will be called back in special session sometime in the next few weeks to address the things that only the legislature can enact and pass, and the governor can sign them into law. And that way we can make sure that nothing gets fallen between the cracks here.
That is good news. That is good news.
I want to thank you very much for answering all these questions, and I want to take advantage that you are here to shout out to Santa Fe College, the foundation of Santa Fe College, especially our dear friend Michael Curry, Laura Haynes. If you are watching, hello to all of you. And by the way, if you guys have any question that you are watching the show right now, feel free to make a comment below, and I am sure that Nanette, Ray, Chuck, myself, where we can get back to you, sooner than later, to engage with you on your question, on your concern regarding everything that is happening. Actually, I am planning a conference, a big online conference with the Chamber of Commerce, kind of like to talk about all the economy on Alachua County, and we're doing everything that we can to keep the community well informed and to keep the community with a sense of hope. I was just talking with Chuck, an amazing conversation about that. There is two things that you cannot lose: faith and hope. because those are the two things that they are gonna keep you, like, still and fighting for your dreams, for your goals, for your loved ones. Don't trying to stay motivated, keep the depression and the negativity away as far as possible. Because the good news is that, number one, our economy is gonna get back to normal. We don't know how long it's gonna take, but there is more help on the way. We are hopeful. I mean, that soon we're gonna to start reopening slowly, but we're going to start reopening, and our businesses will have a new opportunity. And I really believe that every single crisis, it is a huge opportunity to grow and to learn and to think, what can I improve now? What can I do now to make a difference, to make an end before and after, with all this crisis?
Yes.
I can only imagine that when we all do get back to work, you're going to see amazing things. People helping each other to put the businesses back together and get up and running, and probably people making that extra effort to go patronize a business down the road, because you want to see them uh, thrive again.
Yes.
Yes.
So from then, I would like, before we go from there, I mean, and awesome and extraordinary human being like you, Chuck, that been fighting to keep creating jobs and supporting different causes, not only in our county, but I will say all over the states, and you being a tremendous asset for, especially for this community and for our students, because I really believe that the new generations always will be the future, because they are the ones that are going to keep improving our present. All right.
Yes.
So, what would you say to encourage those students, those parents, those all those families that right now they may be depressed, they may be thinking in a negative way? What would you say to them?
I would look them straight in the eye and say that there is a brighter future, that tomorrow can be better than today and much better than yesterday. And no matter what circumstances that you come from, you could come from the poorest family, you could come from the most dire circumstances, and if you have the attitude that you can improve yourself, there is an opportunity and there's a way. Whether you don't have the financial means to fund your education, there's a way. We can help you. Santa Fe College has been the blessing for many thousands of students that came from the most dire situations, and they've improved their situation immensely. Why would you depend, or why would you think that minimum wage would be worthy of you? I would say, let's set your sights much higher. Minimum wage means you have minimum skills. And what better place to invest in yourself than Santa Fe College? And it doesn't have to be an academic future. We have welders make $50 an hour. $50 an hour. So if you are inclined to work with your hands, how about a brick mason? How about a air conditioning technician? You know, they can make six-figure incomes if they stay with their employer and they excel in the levels there. So there's a lot of ways to improve yourself and your family's lot in life if you have the right attitude. Santa Fe College has the right opportunity for you, and there's thousands and thousands of scholarships available. All you have to have is the incentive to put yourself in a better position tomorrow, and there is hope.
That's good
I
Our
advice.
love
best
it.
days are
That is
still
awesome.
ahead.
Yes, I really appreciate you, Chuck, for that. And I really appreciate Nanette and Ray for also making the time to be here with us, for supporting Morning Coffee with Elio and everything that we do here all the time. That one part of our official sponsor family, and I really hope that after all of this is gone. That we can get together again, and I can keep bringing the fiesta to all of you.
Yes.
We're
you
ready.
know,
We're ready to celebrate again.
Bring it.
yes, yes. So yeah, it's been my pleasure, and once again, if you guys have any questions, any comments, if you guys please tag anybody and the comments below, tag anybody that you feel that they need some words of encouragement, that you feel that they need to watch this show today so they know that there is hope, that, as Chuck just mentioned, the future is a brighter one, and we can, and regardless, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, we're going to make it, because this is as Chuck was saying, as one of the most wonderful countries. I come from a communist country, and I know what it is. I've been facing the worst scenario for a long time, and I'm telling you that yes, the future is bright. And this is Morning Coffee with Elio Piedra. We are gonna see you guys back on Monday, so you better stay tuned, stay inspired, and live full. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you all, and I really appreciate every single word that you guys said, because we've been talking about, economy, education, a lot of good stuff. Guys, thank you very much for watching Morning Coffee with Elio. Yes, we're really looking forward to seeing you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do not forget to like us and follow us on Facebook and become part of the Morning Coffee with Elio community. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and live full.